Joe has the ball, drops back 3 steps. He fires, and it is caught by T. Higgins. Touchdown, Bengals! It's the first time in Joe Burrow's NFL career he's thrown 4 or more.
It's week 17, and people, we're not even close to done yet. We've got picks for every game, including Chiefs, Bengals, Cardinals, Cowboys, and Browns, Steelers. Nope, haven't been thinking about that game for every second since last Saturday.
And the snap. Throws right side. Making the catch, Lazard. Diving, pylon. Touchdown! And there it is. Number 443. The historic milestone in an iconic career.
We also have Cynthia's top 5 outright winners, plus the top scoring teams and players in the NFL's new penultimate week. Game Day View, presented by Mercedes EQ, starts right now. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome to Game Day View, presented by Mercedes EQ. We were just saying this is going to be both our last show of 2021 and our first show of 2022. We are so excited. Guys, I really missed you while I was on my
Where have you
trip.
been?
Right. East Coast, I was in
We're supposed to live here, but you're there, and it's very confusing, but we missed you too.
It's almost like you had friends that were more important.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
that's exactly how it felt,
Family,
Rachel.
close to importance, but no, I missed you guys. I'm so happy to be back, especially for this very exciting week. We've got so many great games to break down. Yeah, are we doing away?
Yeah,
with?
we're
I don't
done.
think I could have.
I'm not feeling very festive after I thought about you abandoning us.
That's all the Mary that Hawk has.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we got announced. We got announced. All right, let's get into some of these games. We've got some good ones. We're starting the new year off right on Sunday. 2 teams coming into week 17, feeling hot, feeling great. Chiefs rolling to Cincinnati. KC favored by 4.5. Hawk, what do you like here?
I'm going with the Bengals here. I got them winning 31-26. Now, look, last week, early in the week, I had the Baltimore Ravens winning, and I changed my pick to the Bengals, but an online message board at Bengals Talk spread some not credible information about me that had my mentions firing up.
Oh, no.
Okay? You can't trust it. It's just, don't even want to get into it. They're not credible, okay? So I'm going with the Bengals here, and the person I'm looking at in this game, it comes down to Travis Kelce, who is coming back. Now, if you look at the Bengals defense, their problem this year has been their pass defense, specifically the tight end position. When you think about the top tight ends in the league, Wallers, the Mark Andrews, the George Kittle, all of those guys went for over 100 yards against this Bengals defense. So going into this game, the Chiefs know that is their weak point, so the Bengals need to stop Travis Kelce in order to get out of this with the W.
All right, so I'm looking at the Chiefs here. I have 27-23 as the final score. And for me, it comes down to this Chiefs defense, specifically in the pass game. If you look to see where a weakness is in the O-line for the Bengals, it's kind of everywhere that the Chiefs have been really good at generating pressure. And then to back that up, on the other end, the defensive backs have been kind of all over the place, including Tyrann Mathieu playing slot receiver, which I got to give him a lot of credit because sometimes, slot corner rather, because sometimes that's used like in the pejorative. But really, it's kind of like, let's just stop the pass here. And that's going to be really hard for Joe Burrow to diagnose because it would be hard for any quarterback to diagnose.
So Cynthia's trying to thread that needle. I am going over that 4.5 number. The Chiefs win this game, partly because they're getting big-time production from some of their role players. A week ago, Byron Pringle just put it on. I mean, I was impressed when Patrick Mahomes is staying in the pocket this long and looking this comfortable, and they're getting players involved, not named Travis Kelce, who was out, or Tyreek Hill, who wasn't getting it done, didn't feel 100% back. That's when you know the full Chiefs offense is back. The guys like Pringle, who, by the way, is making great plays here. I think he can become their 3rd receiver. Derek Gore getting it done. See, I give you the information like role players. Hawk just, goes after online trolls and tries to settle personal scores.
My platform, I do what I want with it.
Hawk, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Okay. And Hawk is flying solo, so I think that actually could get you back into good graces. I'm going KC 28-24. I do think the Bengals keep it close. I am just very much looking forward to sitting back and enjoying this game. I think it's going to be really fun to watch, but I do think the KC gets this done. Their defense, the last 4 to 5 games, held their opponents to 10 points or less. Also, Tyrann Mathieu, I don't know if you guys saw this. Good Morning Football put out this whole, compilation of Bengals offensive amazing plays. Tyrann Mathieu, responded to that and said, nobody wants us to win this game. I love the feistiness. I think this game could be very, very fun.
See, Rachel's just talking about her other friends. Like,
Guys,
good morning.
let's just break down the jealousy, okay?
Okay,
What's
I just want to know what you said about Game Day View on that show.
Yeah.
No, I missed it.
I hadn't seen it.
I did, all commercial break. I just didn't get it on
commercial
television. Cowboys want to make it 5 wins in a row. Cardinals do not want to make it 4 losses in a row down the stretch. Cowboys favored by 6. Cynthia, what do you like here?
All right, let's get this out of the way. I'm picking the Cardinals 25-24. I'm going to tell you that there are some pieces here that could flip that score, meaning some of the people who are going to be game time decisions, like their running back and some other people, that could make a difference. However, they're getting their O-line healthier and back, and Kyler Murray with the quick passes. I think this game plan will feature not weird calls, meaning we've seen some things earlier this past few weeks, like 4th down calls that seemed a little bit improbable. However, I think they kind of right the ship here and they stay away from the pressure and they stay away from the deep passes and scary throws that are the back end of that defense. So I think Kyler Murray with those quick passes, that's the upset.
Cynthia and I kind of park in our car in the same garage. I do have the Cowboys winning, but it's close. The number 6 is too many points to me to give to Kyler Murray. And the models love the Cardinals all year. The model's always right. The Cardinals offense will be better because I believe James Conner and Rondale Moore have a good chance to play. We know that Rodney Hudson should be back for them. James Conner and Rodney Hudson are 2 of the best 4 players on this offense. So people wondering what happened the last couple of weeks. That's what's happening. Now, Rondale Moore, another key part to their group where Kyler Murray can spread the ball around. I just think he is too good to give that many points to the Cowboys. I trust the Cowboys to win, but not by much.
Yeah, I mean, parking our cars in the same garage, me and you shooting at the same basket. Greg, I'm going with the Cowboys here as well. I have them winning 30-28 here, and the reason being is I'm looking at this Cardinals offense, and they're just out of sync without DeAndre Hopkins because the threat of him being on the field is just not there anymore. And now Murray's going to have to get away from a very, very, very good athlete in Micah Parsons. We've seen so many times, routinely, Kyler just making D-line and pass rushers look silly by being able to evade those tackles. He's had trouble with that over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's the injury. I remember Charles Harris got to him a number of times versus the Lions. I think we're going to see a lot of that this week with Micah Parsons and Randy Gregory, Tank Lawrence, everybody coming at Kyler. And there's just not a lot of weapons down the field, or they're out of sync down the field without DeAndre Hopkins being on the field.
You know, Hawk, I think we're really shopping at the same grocery store these days.
I felt that.
I'm going to take the Cowboys here 30-24. Mike McCarthy, he was asked about his New Year's resolutions, okay? And he says, it's to win, keep it simple for you. I want to win. I feel like these are 2 different kinds of people at a New Year's Eve party right now. By the way, stay home. Cowboys just got smooched by like the hottest girl, okay? They're feeling so good coming off last week's win.
My life.
Cardinals on the other hand, they are struggling. And I feel like that's going to be really tough to climb out of that hole, especially against a Cowboys team that is doing pretty dang well. Smooching the hottest chick. So I got 30-24. All right, Dolphins seem to be having a blast right now. 7 wins in a row, and I still don't think that they're getting the respect that they deserve. They head to Tennessee to take on the Titans, who are favored by 3.5. Greg, what do you like?
I like the Titans only by 3, so I'm trying to thread that needle here. I think it's almost a coin flip, but only one of these teams has Ryan Tannehill. So many similarities here. Great defensive fronts, great game planners on defense, bad offensive lines. But who stands tall against a bad offensive line against a very good pass rush better than Ryan Tannehill? This guy last week, 3rd and long, 8 different times he converted. That is just outrageous in one game. Obviously, A.J. Brown makes a huge difference, but A.J. Brown doesn't get it done unless Ryan Tannehill delivers under pressure. My son kept falling on the tennis court this last week, and he called himself Ryan Tannehill because he says Ryan Tannehill is always on the ground, and he's always getting it done.
Wow, comedian in the works.
I love it, except I don't love it because I'm going with the Dolphins. I got them winning 17-13. Yeah, Ryan Tannehill has played well. A.J. Brown has played great, but A.J. Brown has to go up this week against Xavier Howard. Listen, I'm with the Dolphins. They don't feel like they're getting that respect. I kind of believe them, too. I get their strength of opponents weren't great, but they're beating the opponents in front of them, and they're giving themselves a chance. I think that continues this week. I think Xavier Howard does a good job mitigating what A.J. Brown brings to the table, and A.J. Brown is clearly their best offensive weapon since Derrick Henry has been out of the lineup.
Cynthia, what do you like?
Okay, so I have the Titans 24-20 in this matchup. Why? Because of the Dolphins' O-line being not so great at all. But I want to talk about Jalen Waddle, who's had an awesome year. He needs 6 catches to lead rookie receivers in receptions. That's a pretty big deal.
Yes.
I like his little end zone dance, which has nothing to do with anything. But I also think those 11-plus targets over the past 4 games has been a really big indicator of where success would be, especially because I have the Dolphins playing from behind. I think you're going to get a lot of yards and a lot of receptions from Jalen Waddle. So if you're looking for someone for fantasy or to track how many yards they have, it's Jalen Waddle.
You know, guys, I just feel like there's no chance I'm going to catch Cynthia and Hawk in the standings. So at this point in my picks career on Game Day View, I just want to have fun. And that is why I am going with the Dolphins.
Yes.
Never has a team, I believe in NFL history, lost 7 games straight and then went on to win 7 games straight. This is just the kind of team that you want to buy into no matter what's going on with the offensive line. I'm believing in a miracle, okay? It's New Year's Eve.
I want the Dolphin sound, Rachel.
That was your fault because you requested it. So Dolphins 24.
You get that for that.
21. All right, coming up next, individual numbers and proper performances and the highest scoring team of Week 17 in most of all. New segment. Ooh, fancy.
Don't have that at Game Day football.
No. Game Day football?
Whatever the heck that shit.
Okie dokie, let's talk individuals and proper performances. I believe we're going to start with quarterback Cynthia.
Yes, so Justin Herbert forecast to have more than 261.5 passing yards. Why? Well, if you look at the next-gen stats on short passes, those are ones that are intended to travel between 0 and 9 air yards. Herbert has 2,066 yards on those alone. He had 249 on short passes in Week 12 at Denver. So 261.5, I have him for 277 in this matchup.
Okay. Greg, who do you like?
I like a little defense going up against Tua Tagovailoa. I'm sorry, I hate to be negative.
Wow.
Somebody doesn't believe in miracles.
I think points are going to be at a premium in this game. Cynthia, the model, pointed it out that the offensive line for this Miami team is brutal, and I don't think they're going to be able to protect Tua in this game. He hasn't played that well since the bye. I'm sorry.
Don't you just want to buy into a nice underdog story?
He can do it on the ground, run.
The Titans are an underdog story. Who gives the Titans love?
I don't know, everybody last year and year before, whatever. Let's move on to wide receivers. Cynthia, what do you like here?
All right, last week, Tyreek Hill did not have big numbers, but I think he bounced back in a big way this week. 74.5 receiving yards. More than that is what's in store for him. Next Gen stats show that he ranks 7th this season with 701 receiving yards on downfield passes. Those are 10-plus air yard ones. He ranks 2nd since 2018 with 3,224 such receptions, only behind Mike Evans. And the Bengals allow a 101.5 passer rating and 11.3 yards per attempt on these types of passes. Those are both bottom 10 in the NFL.
I like that. I wanted Tyreek Hill to do better last week because he was on my fantasy team, but I still won anyway. And I'm in the championship.
Congrats.
But I'm going with Cooper Kupp for more than 107.5 receiving yards because in the Christmas spirit, this Ravens secondary is about as generous as anybody could possibly be. Last week, they gave up 194 to T. Higgins. They gave up 125 to Jamar Chase. They are going to get lit up by Cooper Kupp this week, so I say way, way more than 107.
I love that. And I think if, like, Cooper Kupp can have another big game, I really believe he can be and should be the MVP of this league. Give receivers a chance. Like, he didn't show us his toe on a Zoom. Like, that should be disqualifying for MVP on its own.
Truth. Absolute truth. All right, let's move on to running back. Cynthia, what do you got?
Okay, David Montgomery is going to rush for more than 69.5 yards against the Giants. He's also going to have way more total yards than other guy, Saquon Barkley, who's on the other side. The Next Gen stats show that Montgomery has 8 first downs over expected outside the tackles this season. That's tied for 2nd amongst running backs, with Jonathan Taylor only trailing Nick Chubb. And by the way, the Giants have allowed 1,091 rush yards outside the tackles. That's 9th most in the NFL. And for fun, I know this isn't a rushing part, but he's had the most receptions by a running back over the past 5 weeks.
Oh, that's fun. Greg, you mentioned Cooper Kupp for MVP. You know why I think
Love it.
got a chance?
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor. I like him for more than 109.5 rushing yards versus the Raiders. We don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz at this point in time, but honestly, in or out, I feel like Jonathan Taylor could really step up and carry this team and be that MVP caliber that everyone thinks that he could be.
I'm with you.
109.5 rushing yards. This guy's just like snapping consistently every single week. He is so much fun to watch. So that is what I am liking for proper performances. All right, time for a new segment we are calling Most of All. Premise is simple. Picking the most or highest for the following. Hawk, I'm going to start with you. Highest scoring team in Week 17.
Highest scoring team will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going against the New York Jets, who are a league worst 29.9 points a game they're giving up. So pretty much every week, whoever's playing the Jets, you should probably just pick whatever team they're going against. Because everything's open on them. Pass, run, short routes, long routes, trick plays, you name it. This defense, they give it up. And Tom Brady, he's had a rough couple weeks, so I think he puts it back on the train.
This is a nice little bounce back. This is a nice little gift on a platter for him. I'm going with the Rams. Cynthia, you got the Bills. And Greg, you got KC. This could be fun. All right, most passing yards in Week 17. I am going to go Aaron Rodgers against the Vikings with Cynthia. You like Matt Stafford?
I do like Matthew Stafford. If you look at this Ravens defense and you look what's happened in past games, there's only been one team that's allowed a 400-yard passer more than one time this season. They've done it 4 times, and that's the Ravens. So this is a really big kind of, I don't know if he thinks it's a bounce back, but I think people have been like, Matthew Stafford's not passing. Whatever, he's going to pass for a ton of yards in this one, most of the week.
It's a nice get-right spot for him. You like Dak against the Cardinals, Greg?
I think there's just going to be a ton of points in this game. And Dak last week like that just got me feeling good about the Dak experience the rest of the season.
That's nice. All right, I'm going to stick with you for most rushing yards in Week 17. Greg, what do you like?
I like Ronald Jones. You know, it just could be easy to take Jonathan Taylor. Oh, wow, Jonathan Taylor's going to win the MVP. How about Rojo when he gets out in the open field? No one catches him, and as Hawk mentioned, this Jets defense is rough. And one of the reasons they're rough is because all their edge rushers, their pass rush, they just are asked to penetrate, go upfield. They give up a lot of inside runs, a lot of big runs all season. And I think Tampa, a lot of jumbo formations a week ago. I put a lot of thought into this. This wasn't just me trying to get attention.
And we did put a lot of thought into ours. Like, we had our pre-show meeting and we're like, should we all choose somebody different? It's like, no. Just give it to Jonathan Taylor.
You'd have to be an idiot to choose someone different than Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, why work hard when we know the answer is right there? Next on Game Day View, it is time to confront the Browns' fate. We must do it. Picking that Monday night, yep. Picking that Monday Nighter in Pittsburgh after this.
Did he just call me an idiot?
Yes.
Not you.
Stafford looking right, throwing, end zone, Cooper Kupp got it, touchdown LA! Throws off his back foot, crossing the field left side, it's Cooper Kupp to the pylon, touchdown Cooper Kupp, right side, caught the 5, Cooper Kupp diving for the pylon, he got it! Cooper Kupp puts it in the paint! Stafford going top shelf, Cooper Kupp all alone at the 10! He could have taken that one all the way to LAX.
Just the thought of LAX right now. Rams head to Baltimore to take on a Ravens team that will most likely be without Lamar Jackson again. We don't know right now. John Harbaugh still says there is a chance, but likely it is Tyler Huntley. Rams favored by 5.5. Hawk, what do you like in this one?
I got the Rams winning this one 31-23. Last week when the Ravens played the Bengals, I zeroed in on the wide receivers because I'm like, that's the opportunity for the Bengals. And Joe Burrow made sure that I was right. This week, I'm going to switch it up by saying the exact same thing. Wide receivers, specifically Cooper Kupp. But, I mean, this Ravens secondary, they've been bad. Greg has Cooper Kupp penciled in as his MVP. I expect him to have a huge game here because the opportunity is there. Rachel, you said this could be a good bounce-back game for Matt Stafford, or maybe Cynthia said that, I don't know. Cloudy brain at the end of 2021. But I agree. I think they're going to play really well, and the receivers are going to ball out against this Ravens team.
Cynthia, what do you like?
I have a 3-point win for the Rams, 26-23, a little bit closer than expected. That's kind of some respect from the model to John Harbaugh in this matchup. But I want to talk about Mark Andrews, who's been exceptional when lined up in the slot. If you look over the past 5 weeks, he's had the most receptions and the most receiving yards of anyone coming out of the slot. And if you look at an area, one of the few areas of this defense where there is a vulnerability, it is to slot receivers. They rank near the bottom of the league in terms of completion percentage allowed. So Mark Andrews will be a problem no matter who's under center.
I'm with you, Cynthia, in that, like, the offense is not the problem in Baltimore. It's the defense. Like, whether it's Tyler Huntley or Lamar Jackson, they've scored enough. They've moved the ball. But this secondary that Hawk was talking about when he was patting himself on the back and, you know, trying to make sure, you know, BengalsJungle.com, you know, stops making fun of him.
//
They're 30th in the league right now. Baltimore secondary, 30th in the league in pass defense efficiency. It was bad before Lamar got into his slump or before it got hurt. They never really bounced back. They've had injuries. The COVID situation's under control now, but they still don't have top shelf talent at cornerback or safety, and I think this Rams team has too many weapons. Van Jefferson, maybe this is the game Odell Beckham gets it going. There's been some miscommunications. I think the Rams put up a lot of points.
I'm going Rams as well. clean sweep across the board, meme alert. I got a big win by the Rams, 34-24, but this could, let me ask you guys a spicy question, and maybe this is extremely dumb, and let's just end the year on a really dumb question. Tyler Huntley, he was out last week with COVID, but the week before, he like kind of balled out with what we know about Lamar Jackson right now, which is not much based on his health. Greg, who would you prefer in this game?
Oh, Lamar always.
Yeah. Even with everything we don't know what's happening with his injuries.
On the MVP's name. This is a great backup in Huntley, but come on.
Yeah.
Like I said, it may have been a dumb question, and I think it was. All right, moving on. The Eagles clinging onto that final playoff spot in the NFC, going on the road to play a divisional game in Washington right now. Philly is a 4.5-point road favorite. Cynthia, what do you like?
I like the Eagles to win this one 25-20. I wanted to keep the score on the lower side, not too crazy, and keep it, more different than the people in the desert think it's going to be. But I think Jalen Hurts and his legs are the difference maker in this matchup. If you look to see, he already leads all Philadelphia quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns with 10. He's like a historical mark. He passed Michael Vick. I think he makes that even more later, but, we're going to have to write that down. So.
Yeah, Washington is this defense I haven't believed in all season, and they're finally been proving me right over the last month or so. A lot of injuries. I have the Eagles winning this game in a walk, partly because Dallas Goedert should help Jalen Hurts go up and down the field. Dallas Goedert got paid about a month into this season, and then he got even better. That's the type of guy you want on your team, like who gets the money and then takes off. It has been incredible to watch this Eagles offense, one of the top offenses in the league according to expected points since about week 4. So that's a long timeline against a bad defense. I just cannot see Taylor Heineke keeping up in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I have the Eagles winning this one, and I'm looking at Devonta Smith at the wide receiver position. Cynthia talked about Jalen Hurts using his legs in this one. Well, I think that Washington is going to try to take that element away, and Devonta Smith is going to have one of those days that is a difference maker in this one. I mean, to think about these rookie wide receivers, Smith, Waddle, Jamar Chase, it is so rare that these guys come in with so much, praise, and everyone expects these big things, and they just live up to the expectations. Smith is another one. 1,000-yard receiving year in his rookie season. There were questions about his size. Just the way he's played, I've been super impressed, and I think he's going to be a big difference maker this weekend.
Yeah. Guys, I think it might be time for the last lone bone of the season.
Oh, there it is.
I'm playing solo.
Lone bone.
Still terrible. We got to rework that next year. 21-16 for the Washington football team. I just want to go back to a couple of weeks ago. Greg, you mentioned this Washington football team defense is kind of falling apart, but they have been hit hard by COVID. I know a lot of teams have, but this defense especially has been hit hard with COVID. And a couple of weeks ago, Taylor Heineke was beating Tom Brady in the Bucs, and this defense was holding them down. They beat Russell Wilson. I know maybe that's not saying a lot right now, but they had some fire. You got to believe in them. I think that there's still a chance.
I don't have to.
There's this one last chance. Ron Rivera is very hopeful. He was saying that at the end of the day, you got to take your best shot and see what happens. And just what a beautiful thing to head into next year with, right? Go Ron Rivera. Go Washington football team. I think that this could happen. All right. Santa, it's just me and you. Can I just have a single so I can talk to Santa? If you are real, I just want one more thing. Don't let the Steelers embarrass the Browns on Monday Night Football. Pittsburgh is a 3.5-point underdog in what could be Big Ben's last game in the Steel City. Greg, what do you like in that?
I like the Browns. Santa delivering that big present to the Bonetta household. Ben's on the sideline crying, watching this Steelers defense. It's another team that the focus is on the offense, and yet all season long, this Steelers run defense has been so bad. 30th in the league in run defense, DVOA. And who comes to town this week? It's Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt might be back in the mix. That offensive line for Cleveland, even without a few starters, ran for over 200 yards against Green Bay. So I don't think Baker Mayfield has to do anything other than handoff. And he can't mess that up, can he, Hawk?
I don't know how. You're not going to set me up again this week so the Browns fans can get me, Greg. I'm also going with the Browns here.
Message board.
I have them winning 23-17. I don't like to get bullied online, Rachel.
No.
And I'm looking at the D-line for the Browns. This is the strength of their team, the O-line and the D-line. But the D-line this week can be the difference maker. We've seen Roethlisberger try to evade sacks. Now, I feel like I talk about it every week because I do talk about it every week. It is the weakness of the Steelers' offense. And we have Myles Garrett, the best defender in the National Football League. And I'm saying we because I'm talking about the Browns, Greg. I don't care if I'm being biased here.
You literally got a paycheck from them.
If anybody can say it, it's you, not me.
Thank you. I'm with you. I think they're going to have huge games this week. And to your point, send Ben Roethlisberger away from the NFL on a loss at home in a trail of tears. There you go.
We're enjoying this too much.
Happy New Year, Big Ben. Cynthia, what do you like here?
I have the Browns winning. It's a little bit closer, 22-20 for me in this matchup. I want to talk about Nick Chubb and actually Dearness Johnson. Both of them rank in the top 5 in the NFL in rushing yards over expected, which means average running backs would have averaged a lot less yards than these two guys amongst running backs. That's the caveat for that one because some of these quarterbacks have been really good at it as well. But if I'm looking to see what could be the difference maker in kind of what's going on here, it is totally Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, every single snap, all of the volume, that's going to be really helpful for him.
I know I said the last one was my only lone bone of the year.
Oh.
Pull it up. Pull it up. I'm going
reverse
Steelers.
psychology. I like it. I like it.
Wow.
24 to 21. Ever heard of a reverse jinx before, Greg? Come on.
I don't think
I'm terrified. This is Big Ben's this could be his last hurrah in Pittsburgh. People are going to be going crazy for him. Baker is probably down in the dumps right now because of a Christmas Day game that ruined my life. It wasn't that bad, but it was also bad. So I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm shaking in my boots. So I'm going to put this message out into the universe and hope that they see it because the Browns are the kind of team that when everyone counts them out, they get back into the game. So go Steelers. Nope. Coming up next, picks for Eagles, Washington, Raiders, Colts, and a drink recipe for your New Year's Eve or Sunday morning if it's me. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Oh, yeah, time for quick picks. We are starting with Packers Vikings. I believe we are all going Green Bay across the board. Cynthia, what do you think? 29-19, big win.
Yeah, so I think it's a 10-point win, which without Kirk Cousins, it shifted a lot more in favor of the Packers. When you look at what could be interesting, it could be an uptick for A.J. Dillon and what proves to be a nice game script with running in the fourth quarter.
Shout out to Kirk Cousins. Like, this was a 6-point spread.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
He was out. That shows his value. Bring that up.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That must feel kind of nice, actually.
Except if you're a Viking and then you're like, man, that stinks.
Yeah, everybody else on the Vikings are like, What am I, chopped liver? Jeez, Louise. All right, Raiders at Colts, and Hawk is flying solo with the silver and black. Hawk, how come?
A lot of flying solo this week because I don't clearly like to stay in the lead. But I'm going because John Madden, man.
Yay.
I feel like there's going to be a little uptick of, kind of motivation for this organization. John Madden, the legend who everybody loves. We lost him this week. Rest in peace. The guy changed the game, and I feel like it's going to be riding high in the Las Vegas Raiders.
I love this so
it just
much.
it's exactly what it looks like when I break down plays. So
I hope they show the turducken too. If not, Google it. It's great.
Rest in peace, John Madden. Raiders win this
Love
week.
him.
On to Broncos Chargers. We are all on LA at home against Denver, including Greg, 26-21 for you.
A lot of injuries, a lot of COVID on the Broncos, especially. I have the Chargers winning, but not by 6 points. This is a defense that Justin Herbert did struggle to score points on last time. Vic Fangio's one of those defensive coordinators that I think can mix him up and at least keep it close into the fourth.
That 10 made me laugh.
Fuck 28-10. The Broncos are taking the week off.
Wins, baby.
Adios.
Drew Lock and a lot of
later.
backup wide receivers.
Exactly.
Sorry, Denver.
Where are the points coming from?
All right, Lions at Seahawks. Should be noted, Greg, you and I kind of dabbled with the thought of taking the Lions here, right?
I mean, you make it sound like we were like taking experimental drugs or something. Yeah, I thought the Lions were going to
Think for
win this
yourself.
game, and I still think that they can cover. But Tim Boyle to Jared Goff, that's the difference of maybe not winning.
This could have been a good one.
Switch it.
Do you guys think that
Change your pick.
out of my
Change
mind?
the Lions.
Come on.
Have-
Could this be Russell Wilson's last game in Seattle? What do you guys think?
I think so.
when he brings it up unprompted, and he's like reading off an index card of like, this is the statement I want to be on ESPN.com. Yeah.
This is it.
Well, Seattle fans, enjoy it.
Enjoy it. He got it.
On to a game that benefits the Giants either way as they hold the Bears' first-round pick. Hawk Andy Dalton, your bud, getting the start for Chicago. What do you think? 24-7. Hawk is ruthless.
What do you
today.
think I think? Look at that score. My man Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, was in the building, and he's coming to make a statement to a specific Mr. Tanton who's behind
Mr.
the
Tanton
camera.
is very happy right now.
Yeah, that's
at
right. Bears W's when Andy Dalton is in the building. No
He just
bias
said,
there.
Is he in my ear? I don't know, Tan, you tell us. Finally, Saints still sneaky alive for the playoffs, even though I believe they only scored 3 points last week. Greg, how do they win over the Panthers this week?
They do it by playing against the Panthers and Sam Darnold, who did not look any different coming off that long layoff. That Saints defense, to me, is one of the top 3 in the league. So I like the Saints. I don't like points. I know more or less is coming up a little later, but this is a game that I do not think is going to have more.
I mean, I got to ask about the Panthers pick here. You're really just trying to get, you're either giving up or you're trying to get ahead of everybody.
No, it's you know what? You go for fun at the end of the year, Rachel.
You
said
stick with what got you here.
I
Did
am
you
in
see
last
the Saints
place.
last week?
I can say that. I don't think that.
Where's that sound effect? I want it.
This whole show should be a Hawk sound effect. 'Cause I'm flying solo again. Panthers get the W.
It's time for Perfect Pair, ignited by Smirnoff Vodka number 21. I'll start this week. I think the Pats defeat the Jags 34-10. I think that they have I forgot about the jazzy music.
Yeah, come on.
Hold on, I gotta get in there. I also think Damian Harris is going to go over 65.5 rushing yards. I do not have my numbers in front of me. There we go. 3 touchdowns last week, over 100 yards. Jags are really down with COVID. I feel like we can say that about every single team right now, but I think that the Pats, this is a nice game for them. Who said that you think that the Jags aren't really going to lose by a lot, or was it Hawk?
That was, well, we'll talk about that later, Rachel.
Spoiler alert.
Hawk, what do you like?
I'm going with the 49ers, who I have winning big over the Texans, and I'm pairing it with something me and Greg have prayed for this Christmas. Nick Bosa sacks, baby. He's going to get more than a half sack this week, and that is the perfect pair we're all looking for, Greg.
It's not too late for Santa to come with that big old sack.
It's never too late.
Oh, boy. I really
Maybe
miss
2.
you guys.
Maybe 2.
Cynthia, what do you like?
I'm looking at the Bucks. I think that they're going to win 31-17, so a nice big win for them. And I think Ronald Jones he's going to score a touchdown. This one just feels right. And by the way, last week I couldn't hear the music. I just had to play it in my head.
Oh, wow.
And now the music is back, which is way better, just like Rachel. Rachel and the music being back, two things to be happy about here. So Rojo touchdown, easy peasy.
Greg, what's your perfect pair?
Come on, Greg.
My perfect pair starts with the Buffalo Bills. Winning by more than 14.5 points this week against that Falcons team. Very misleading, 7-8, not a good team. I also have the Bills going over 29.5 points. Those Falcons defensive backs, they're going to be about as far away from the Bills receivers as we are from each other in this studio now.
I know.
I like
this offense is feeling itself.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, they are.
And you think they're going to have 34 points, and you don't think that's the highest scoring team of the week?
Nope.
Okay. Yep.
Ooh,
I
another
think you
nice
agree
little
with me.
tease.
Cynthia pointing out my inconsistency.
Yep, that's my job.
That's what we do on this show.
Don't they always, Greg?
Love everybody.
Good point.
That was Perfect Pair, ignited by Smirnoff Vodka. Number 21, try Smirnoff's The Huddle Mojito for a delicious and refreshing cocktail while home gating. Please drink responsibly. Okay, coming up next, our point total picks for some of the biggest games of Week 17, including Chiefs-Bengals, are after this timeout. Don't go anywhere. Vandal Sportsbook wants you to get in on the action in Week 17. Right now, new customers can place their first NFL bet risk-free. And if you don't win, you will get up to $1,000 back. The app is so easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid in as little as 2 hours.
First and goal. Can he get in for the fourth time? He does! Austin Eckler for the touchdown.
Garoppolo, here they come. It's a safety, and that ties the game.
Pressure coming. Cousins, deck, throws it up for Jefferson. He's got it! And he is in!
Harris, nobody can stop him for the touchdown.
Keeps it again. A block from Zach Ertz, and Murray's going to walk in.
It's time for Predict the Points, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Oh, look, somebody decided to show up and celebrate that it's New Year's Eve. Got his glasses on.
Points, bring it out of me.
All right, let's start with Chiefs-Bengals over-under at 51. I'm going more because I hope it's more. I hope this is a very fun game. Womp womp. Cynthia, relax.
I just have 50 points. I mean, it's 27-23.
Cynthia's always very defensive when she's on her own.
Greg, you look very smiley. Are you hoping for a high-scoring game?
I expect a high-scoring game. I don't really trust the Bengals defense at all, so I think the Chiefs score a lot. And Joe Burrow in a shootout, he can keep up.
He can do it.
Definitely keep up.
He can do it. Chiefs are feeling themselves right now. This could be very, very fun. All right, next up we've got Cardinals, Cowboys. Cowboys have been on fuego lately. 51.5 is the over/under. I'm going more. I think most of that is going to be coming from the Cowboys. Hawk, why do you like more?
Yeah, same. I think that two parts. Cowboys offense is starting to roll, right? The defense is coming on, so it's created less for them to do. And also the Cardinals side, Kyler Murray has, he has the kind of, I don't know the right term to put here.
Guts.
He's got, let's call it guts. He's seen the conversation around him in his office the last couple of weeks, and I think he has a bounce back game. That falls short, but a bounce back game nonetheless.
He's been reading the message boards too, not just Hawk.
Everybody's saying the message boards in
boards.
2022. Can that just be the final message of our show? No more message boards?
Yes.
Down with message boards in 2022.
Down with message boards in 2022.
Down.
All right, next up, we're talking Dolphins, Titans. This is a low total, 39.5. I think it's so low, I'm going to go over. Greg, why are you going more?
I don't feel great about it, but I do think with these defensive fronts and the offensive lines, you could actually see a lot of short fields, turnovers, defensive scores, running game. And so even if there's not a lot of yards, I mean, that is a low total.
Hawk, why are you going less?
I mean, Tua does not really lighten scoreboards up. Neither is Tannehill. They're going to run the ball a lot. I think A.J. Brown will be taken away from Xavier Howard. I think it'll be a lot of run. So
Cynthia,
less.
What are you doing?
I'm just bored.
Yeah, Cynthia's been over there. She hasn't said a word in minutes. And just like, she's acting like one of the Chuck E. Cheese robots or whatever.
Vikings, Packers, 42.5. More across the board. Cynthia, why are you going more?
So I'm going more because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make sure that he throws he wants to make that MVP case and ensure that they get that first round bye. I think that this is going to be kind of a, let's see, he owns the Bears, but Devontae Adams owns the Vikings. So
okay.
he's going to make sure that Devontae Adams gets his ownership stake.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it takes 2 points to go over 42, 2 teams. And one of them starting Sean Mannion.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers could score 44 points himself?
Oh, by himself. Okay. Falcons, Bills, total set at 44. I am going more. I feel like the Bills could maybe just do them. Okay, we're all going more, baby.
Meme alert,
Hawk,
more.
you are very excited about this. Why do you think more?
I think this is an easy one, which is why we all picked more. Bills.
I don't even
think this is an easy one.
I don't think you need to say more.
I
think you can stop it right there.
What's supposed to be said?
When it comes to betting, it pays to have a solid game plan. To learn more about responsible betting, visit responsibleplay.org. All right, coming up next on Game Debut, Cynthia's top 5 outright winners for Week 17, plus some of our favorite stuff. And write this down. Wow!
There it is.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
I feel like Tanton's dog. Wait. Frank.
we the best, all right?
Let's turn it up now. You know what it is, man. How about us? Game time. You keep making those plays, I'm just going to throw it up to you every time. Stay at it, Jay. Keep playing smart. Keep playing physical, one at a time. Nice open the game like that. Let's go. Yes. Let's go right here. Let's get it. We got to dominate those.
Come on, big play.
That'll get you fired up. All right, let's take a quick look at Cynthia's top 5 outright winners. Oh, my out was a little Canadian there for Week 17. Anything that jumps out to you? Cynthia, what do you like the best?
You missed it last week, Rachel, so I haven't given you my whole spiel about packaging things because Christmas, the holiday season, it's about packaging. So I think you could package all of those teams on the list. It's a big old package, and you could put it in, you know, you can put that sack in there too. And
there it is.
Santa bring it down your chimney. So perfect, you know.
Okay, I love it. Hey-o! All right, back on. It's time for Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes EQ. Let's recap some of our biggest picks, starting in Cincy, where Hawk is flying solo with his former team over the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow has an it factor, man, and I think everything has been set up for this Bengals team, and I think the Joe Burrow-Patrick Mahomes matchup is one that we're going to be seeing and putting in pay-per-view style categories for years to come because I just think they upset this week in the way they've been playing. I think it continues.
Yeah, this is a nice little treat for all of us. This should be a fun game. All right, big one in the NFC, and Cynthia is taking the Cardinals on the road over the Cowboys.
End of the free.
Well, listen, when you see a recency bias and you see kind of a trend, and then you see one that's going down, and then you kind of think they're meeting at the wrong time, well, I think that could be also a recipe for a bounce-back situation. Remember, the Cardinals' defense is very, very good. We didn't really talk a ton about it, but Chandler Jones has something to say about all this. So I'm sure that him and Buda Baker will show up big in this matchup, and I think that the upset happens.
Love it. Kylie could just put this whole game on his back and rush for 1 million touchdowns, and I would enjoy that. And in Tennessee, I have got the Fins, but Greg is going Titans. Greg, how come?
These two teams are so similar. I think it's going to be a close game, but this Tennessee team's been in a lot of big games over the last few years. They got something you can't teach. Like, they are greater than the sum of their parts, Rachel. Chemistry, you know, like what we have here on Game Day View that you just can't find on every other show.
Yeah, like Good Morning Football.
Like when you tried to leave us.
You guys are so sour that I went home to see my 2-year-old nephew
after cheating on us.
How dare you? By the way, he doesn't know how to say ho, 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 so he says, how.
That's funny.
And it killed me every single day. It was so cute. All right, it is time for Write This Down. I am going to go first. I'm going Aaron Rodgers, more than 2.5 touchdowns, baby, against the Vikings. I just feel like this guy's on fire. And he's rolling, and he doesn't care. He's not even, like, practicing regularly during the week. And he's coming out and balling out. Apparently, he's got a fractured pinky toe. Maybe you should fracture more of his toes. He's been playing great since that has happened.
Might be pushing it.
Okay, please don't fracture any more of your toes.
Just don't
we
show
don't
us
see
if it
them
happens.
on camera, of course. MVP conversations, as we've been talking about, he's definitely in the mix there. I think he continues to ball out more than 2.5 touchdowns. Hawk, what do you like?
I like that. I'm going to go with the Jaguars losing by fewer than 16.5 points, which is their line. They get a lot of players back into the lineup. They get Miles Jack back. They get Josh Allen, Laviska Shenault, a couple other players. So I think they're going to play a little better than expected against the Patriots, who haven't exactly been lighting the scoreboard up on their side either.
That's true. Cynthia, what do you like?
So I think Deebo Samuel is going to score a touchdown at the Texans. It could actually be a rushing touchdown. You could get even more value if you think about it in terms of rushing touchdown. We know he's been used in the run game. And also, this is a team that's been generous to allowing wide receivers to run like a running back on them. So Deebo Samuel, at least 1 touchdown.
Wow.
Greg, what do you like?
I like the Eagles to win on Sunday by more than 4.5 points. Two teams heading in opposite directions. If you've been paying really close attention, you know my Write This Down standings. I'm number 1 right now. So what if everyone's doing better in the rest of the games? Write this down. I'm the king. Eagles, let's fly.
Who hasn't been paying attention that much, right?
Guys, I want to say something nice here to my favorite team. I came to NFL Network this year in 2021, and it has been an absolute joy to work with you three and all the producers and everybody that makes this show happen every single week. I love all of you guys. This has been so fun. Have a happy new year and enjoy all the games this weekend.
We
will see you in 2022.
We love you, Rachel.
Happy New Year.